Let us pray. Dear God, as we gather for this spring convocation, we come with open hearts and open minds, ready to learn and to grow as a community. We're mindful of the recent observation of the life and accomplishments of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. His life work spoke of the importance of compassion and justice in our world. We ask for guidance and wisdom as we strive to be compassionate and just in our actions and interactions with others. May we always strive to see the humanity in each person. Help us to be mindful of the ways in which our actions and words can affect others, positively, negatively, and help us to strive for the positive. We pray for strength and courage to stand up against injustice and to work towards a world where all people are treated with dignity and respect. We give you thanks for our speaker today. Come home, an alum. We're grateful for his wisdom, his witness. May this spring convocation be a time of growth and learning for us as we strive to be better individuals and a better community, united for the common good. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Miller and Union Harmony, for that great selection. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Spring Convocation and Spring Semester 2025. We are, gathered in a way this week that allows us to sort of think about Dr. Martin Luther King and also his legacy. And I hope that this week sort of serves as a sense of passion and a sense of purpose for you for what Dr. King has done, has brought to each and every one of us. I'll leave you with a few words from sort of this MLK DNA that I feel that I've learned from Dr. King over his years of service. To serve others in a way that gives you peace. To claim community at every chance you get to help and assist others. It's about the choices that we make when facing differences and disagreements. Building bridges isn't easy. Some of the choices that we make allows us to take courage, sacrifice, and to step outside of one's comfort zone to make relationships happen. I do personally believe that education is the key to success I believe that each and every one of you as students have the ability to open doors beyond one's own culture, religion, or way of life. I think that education empowers, that it allows you to be able to go out and do the things that you hope to do. It helps families and their lives produce and have the opportunity to learn and grow. I believe that in community and the formula of 1 + 1 equals greater chance of balance and service. To us, here at Union, we see ourselves as family. I do also believe in freedom and the value of choice and in speech. I think that at Union we teach, our students and educate to be free of all hate and animosity and inequity. That's the way that I see the future of Union Bulldogs. That's the way that I see the opportunity for us to not only just continue to join each other here on campus, but for you as students to be able to go out and continue to be global citizens in the world. I commend a campus such as Union, a private community that is connected to public and civic discourse, a place that is faith-based and peace-oriented, a campus that provides a sense of belonging to our students across 40 states and dozens of countries. In the heart of one Barberville, Kentucky. Forever connected and united for the common good, bringing out the best in character and community, producing future leaders. From my education at Union, I learned how to expand upon my knowledge by finding new ways to learn new things, to love thy neighbor, to be open-minded, clear and brief, but conscious and consistent, and respectful to others in meaningful dialogue. So I challenge you as students, as you enter this spring 2025 semester, to continue to not only grow from within, but to continue to kind of help and serve others. It is what you do today that can help really encourage future steps. Will you join me in just taking a brief moment to remember Dr. Martin Luther King? Let's give yourselves a round of applause for the start of 2025. And at this time, I am more than pleased to welcome Allie Williams to the stage to be able to share a welcome as your SGA president. Allie?
Thank you, Dr. Washington. Good morning, Bulldogs. For those of you who I haven't had the chance to meet, I am Allie Williams, and I'm honored to be your new Student Government Association president. It's wonderful to see all of you back on campus as we kick off the spring semester. I hope you had a restful and rewarding break and are ready to embrace all the opportunities this semester has to offer. I am from Greenwood, Indiana, and I'm entering the final semester of my senior year. Reflecting on this journey, it's hard to believe how much has changed since I first arrived here 3.5 years ago. When I made the decision to move here, I wasn't entirely sure what my college experience would look like. I didn't come here to play a sport, and I wasn't sure what was yet to come. One thing I learned very quickly, though, was just how important it is to get involved. College life is what you make of it, and for me, finding ways to connect with people and to be a part of this community is what made all the difference. Whether it was through organizations, events, or simply walking around campus, I discovered that involvement doesn't just fill your schedule, it gives you purpose and helps you grow. I encourage everyone, including the faculty and staff, to be involved. Go to all the events and make Union the kind of community you want to be a part of. These past few years have taught me more than I ever expected, not just academically, but about life, relationships, and who I want to be moving forward. This last semester is bittersweet, but I'm grateful for every moment and every lesson this journey has brought me. To our new students and returning students, welcome to another chapter of your academic journey. This semester brings fresh challenges, new friendships, and countless chances to grow. Let's approach it with energy in order to build a strong foundation for the rest of your academic career and life beyond higher education. And to our seniors, this is it, the home stretch. Graduation is just around the corner, and we couldn't be prouder of how far you've come. This semester will be full of milestones, celebrations, and perhaps a few bittersweet moments as we prepare to step into the next phase of our lives. Soak it all in, make the most of these last few moments, and remember, you'll always be a part of our Bulldog family. On behalf of SGA, your voice is important, and we welcome your ideas. If you have ideas you want to see on campus, or there's a change you want to see, please come share them with us on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. in the Student Center. All are welcome, and only together we can make Union the best it can be. Let's make this spring semester one to remember. Here's to working hard, supporting one another, and creating lasting memories. Welcome back, everyone, and let's have a fantastic semester. Thank you.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce to you those who join me on the stage today. Reverend David Miller, University Chaplain. Ms. Allie Williams, President of the Student Government Association. Mr. Kevin Smith, our speaker today and graduate of the class of 2006. Union Commonwealth University President, Dr. D.J. Washington. And I am Dr. David Powell, Interim Provost. As we begin this morning, please take a moment to silence any electronic devices you may have brought with you today. Allow me to remind you of our core values. Those are C, celebration, I, integrity, R, responsibility, C, civility, L, lifelong learning, E, engagement, and S, spirituality. Convocation offers an opportunity to us to gather, reaffirm, and reflect on these values, especially celebration. The Union Commonwealth University community frequently takes time to celebrate the successes of its members, whether they be the beauty of the voices of our choral department, the talents of our theater students, the victories of our sports teams and their student athletes, the achievements of our general students, or the accomplishments of our faculty and staff members. It is important to recognize Union to recognize exemplary performances, of which there are many, and to celebrate them. I would now like to introduce our speaker. Kevin Smith is an attorney in private practice based in London, Kentucky. He has a deep commitment to education in Eastern Kentucky and the broader Appalachian region, serving on the Board of Trustees of Alice Lloyd College and as the board chairman of Rural Up, a nonprofit organization focused on empowering Appalachian youth by facilitating their transition from education to the workforce through career-connected learning and STEM-focused opportunities. His political service includes time as a legislative aide for Senator Mitch McConnell, as staff at the Republican National Committee, and on the U.S. Postal Service Board of Governors. He holds a Master's of Business Administration and Juris Doctor degrees from the University of Kentucky and a Master's in Public Administration from Princeton University. Most importantly for us, he also holds a bachelor's degree from Union College, where he excelled in the classroom and on the baseball team. He and his wife Tina have 4 children, and in his spare time, he enjoys hiking, coaching his son's Little League baseball team, and teaching Sunday school at Corinth Baptist Church in London. Please welcome Kevin Smith.
Well, good morning, President Washington, faculty, staff, and students. I'm honored to be here with you today at Union Commonwealth University. And thank you, President Washington, for providing this warm invitation for me to be here today. And I know I'm excited for your new leadership here at this institution. And when I arrived on campus today, I had the chance to walk around a little bit, to see campus. And I will tell you, a flood of memories started to come back. Memories of studying hard over in the library, playing hard over at the baseball field, and of course, making lifelong friends. And I see some of those here today. I see Andrea Butler here. I see Megan Gott, or Megan Chestnut now. and just so many wonderful memories of being here on campus. Now, while most of my professors have retired by now, I looked through the list and I saw a few that were still there. One of those was Andy Messer. Not sure if he's still on faculty, but I saw his name on the list. Now, Andy Messer taught a class. It wasn't like a 400 level class, but it was a class that I will remember the rest of my life. It was called Canoeing and Kayaking. Has anyone here taken canoeing and kayaking? Is that still on the... No one, okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this class. We met in the pool right behind us, okay? And one of the things that Andy would do, he would put us in this kayak, take us to the deep end of the pool, and flip us upside down, right? And so you got like two ways to go here. Like you're gonna live or you're gonna die. And so you're head face down in the water, and you have to flip yourself back up. Now there's a term for this. It's called the Eskimo roll. And what Andy was trying to teach us is that with just knowing the right maneuver, how to put your paddle in the right position, how to shift your weight, you can flip yourself up into the right position again. Now, we all get in there with no idea how to do this. We're all like up thinking we're about to drown. But we learned a great, valuable life lesson then, and right there in that pool. And that's if you understand what you're supposed to be doing, if you understand the process to something that's extremely hard can be all of a sudden become very simple. And that was a great lesson I learned right back there in that pool. But while I'm here, I want to share with you some stories about my journey. How Union has helped shape my life in the direction that I've gone in. You've heard it here already, but you and I share something very special together. We're each part of the Union family. You see, 20 years ago, I sat in these very seats in this very gymnasium on a chilly January morning at a convocation just like this. At the time, I was a junior. I lived in the apartment buildings right behind center field on the baseball field. If you look beyond it, those apartments. That's where I lived. I was a member of the baseball team. And I fondly remember coming in here on early January mornings at 6 a.m. for baseball practice. Well, it really wasn't so much practice, it was more like drills and running. And I'm glad Clay Butler's back there because I'm sure he saved my life more than on one occasion after probably falling and fainting from all the sprinting we were doing. But I looked out on the baseball field as we come in, and I remember tarp duty. Is there any baseball players out of here? You all know what tarp duty is, right? You get up bright and early, as soon as the sun rises, you take the snow and the cold rain off the tarp so that it can dry out and you can practice the rest of the day. Now, I've got lots of fond memories about being here at Union College, but that's not one of them. And I'm so glad that that is over with. But as you all are here and you're about ready to start your semester, and as new seasons begin, like baseball season, it's a time filled of excitement. It's a time filled of promise. And as you look to your semester and beyond, I want to offer you 3 thoughts, things that have helped guide me while I was here, and I hope will inspire you as you enter this semester and go forth. Now, President Washington had mentioned about passion and purpose, leaning on Dr. King. Well, I hope to build off that through the stories that I'll share here. So first, I want to emphasize the importance of small choices. Small choices. They may be insignificant in the moment, but I want to tell you that they add up over time and they define your direction. And that direction determines your destination. Now, there are Union alumni, bulldogs, just like you and me, who are doing big, great things all across this Commonwealth and across this nation. There's educators, doctors, business leaders, public servants, but they did not all get there all at once. It took small, consistent effort over many years for them to get where they are. When I first came to Union, I was a middle schooler. I was traveling with my family to drop off one of my cousins who was coming here for a summer enrichment program. Now, I didn't think much about my trip here at the time, but I will say years later, I was at Volunteer State Community College in Tennessee. After my freshman year, I had the opportunity to play in the Great Leagues Summer Baseball League. It's a league sponsored by Major League Baseball, and God providentially brought 2 Union baseball players to that team. There was a fellow pitcher and a gentleman who would end up being my catcher here at Union were on that team. When I returned home from the summer, I ended up getting a call from then Union College's baseball coach. He asked me to come to campus, to visit, to get to know him, get to know the program. And that eventually led to him offering me a scholarship. That simple call was the start of something extraordinary. You see, while I was here, I got involved in student life, served on and started organizations like many of you are doing right now at this institution. And it's there that I learned key skills, like how to run meetings, how to recruit volunteers, how to publicize your successes as an organization so you build up your name and get more people involved. See, those seemingly small efforts prepared me for bigger challenges and opportunities ahead. I didn't know it then, but I know that today. Second, seek out meaningful opportunities. Seek for ways that you can find meaning and embrace adventure when you can. Being involved in student life here on campus gave me both of those. Now, while I majored in business and accounting, I was drawn to civic leadership and public policy. 20 years ago, as a student here, I sat down with then President Edward D. Rose and shared a dream that I had, probably not one that he had probably heard before, which was I would like to attend the presidential inauguration. Well, I didn't know the path of how to do that. I had no idea how to make it happen. I'm not sure President Edward D. Rose did either, but he sat down with me and helped me make a plan. You see, he knew people in the community who could help support me, who could help provide the financial resources that would make it happen, and also the networks to make it come forth as well. He introduced me to one of those individuals, was a gentleman named Cecil Wilson. Now, for those of you that are from here, you might know that name. He has since passed away, but he was a trustee here at Union. He also ran the local paper, the Barberville Mountain Advocate. So, while I had this dream, Cecil Wilson helped me turn that dream into an unforgettable adventure. See, by running a paper, I could go and pose as a reporter. I was able to connect with the right people in Washington that allowed me to get credentials as a press reporter alongside some of the nation's largest papers to go and cover this historic event. So, if you can think about it, I was a junior in college here at Union trying to go to the presidential inauguration. With those credentials, I had the opportunity to go backstage, to talk with leaders, to hear from them, to ask puzzling questions, things that I wanted to know answers to. And through that, I got the opportunity to soak up history, to be a part of something very special while I was there. It was incredible. So when I took that experience and came back to Union, and so I want to talk about the third thing, which is dream big and follow your passions. So dreams in of themselves may seem distant, far-fetched, something that might be impossible, right? But I tell you, if you pursue them with determination, it can change the course of your life. For me, it happened right here at Union, sitting in my dorm room, watching TV. Well, it was the State of the Union address, to be specific. And I thought to myself, well, could I attend that event in person one day? Well, that kind of idea and thinking big sparked something that took months of research, calling, and planning. And so through that research, I found that there was one entity. It's called the House Press Gallery. So it's the United States House. They have a press gallery that deals directly with the press. And I found out that they were in control of a small number of credentials. Now, the State of the Union address is an event that happens each year, typically in January, where the President of the United States kind of tells his vision for America. They all come into the Capitol. There's not that many seats that are there, but in the top, in the balcony, there's a few number of seats for press. So I end up calling the House Press Gallery. Here, again, college student here at Union College, just calling them up. And I asked them the question, who's in charge of giving out the credentials to the State of the Union address? Well, lo and behold, the person answering the phone, let me speak to the director of the House Press Gallery. This individual listened to me as I shared my story about being a college student, having a passion of wanting to share and do something that no one else from our region had ever done, which is cover the State of the Union as a reporter. Well, after listening to me, he graciously told me the story about how it's impossible, that it would not happen, that there's only a few number of credentials, and that their policy was to send those to national newspapers that have millions of subscribers that they reach daily. Now, if you know anything about the Barberville Mountain Advocate, it is a local paper. It reaches hundreds, possibly thousands, but not millions. And at the time, it was a weekly paper, not a daily paper. So I had nothing going for me. But what I did was I was relentless. I was determined. And so every 2 weeks, I called that number. And I asked for the director of the House Press Gallery, and I asked simple questions like, is there anything I can do to better my position? What can I do to be able to attend? And he would tell me there's no waiting list. We decide who attends, and those are already, allocated. But I kept at it. Every 2 weeks, I would call. It becomes January, and I think nothing's going to happen. I thought, at this point, it's just unfeasible. 3 days before the State of the Union address, I get a call. I'm walking across campus. I hear a buzz in my pocket. I pick up the phone, and it's the director of the House Press Gallery. And he said that one of the individuals who had a credential ended up having to take a different assignment, and that a credential was opened up. And he said, all the people that I could provide this to, you were the first person that came to mind. And he said, I wanted to give you the opportunity of a lifetime, something that you would always remember. And so, lo and behold, here I am, a college student, getting to attend the State of the Union address as a print reporter for the Barberville Mountain Advocate. So definitely quite a story in of itself. But, everything had to come in play for that, right? You had to have someone willing to listen to me. You had to have, someone at the end think that I was deserving of that. I had to have a college baseball coach who was open for the fact that I would miss some critical practices before our season began, right? And to his credit, he supported me. And I tell you, that trip was a turning point in my life. It's because not only attending that event, but it was the people that I met. The people that I met that evening after the State of the Union in the Capitol Rotunda in Statutory Hall, those leaders that I got to meet and those senior staff for those leaders ended up being the folks that gave me my first job after graduating here. Well, I've continued to pursue a life of meaning and adventure. Just this past week, I had the opportunity before the inauguration to go down to Mar-a-Lago, which is known as the Southern White House, where I had the opportunity to engage with leaders across our country as they work with the next administration on creating policies and ideals that'll guide our future. So I was blessed to be a part of that. And afterwards, I got to fly up to Washington, D.C. and attend the inauguration. This time, I got to bring my wife, and we got to go to the ball. But again, being there, a part of those discussions, one of the events, I got to speak with some of the incoming cabinet secretaries. Got to speak with the incoming cabinet secretary for Interior about our national forest lands here in eastern Kentucky. I got to speak with the incoming Secretary of Agriculture about how the USDA programs and funding impact our region so deeply. those important conversations I wouldn't have been able to get involved in or be a part of if it wasn't for the activities and the opportunities that I got right here at Union. And while I enjoy being involved in some of the national discussions that are going on, I'm equally involved right here at home in Eastern Kentucky, my own community. I founded an organization called Rural Up, and through that, we have taught over 1,000 middle school and high school students computer science and STEM-focused opportunities. We are now, this past year, we received over $2 million in federal, state, and private grants to create some work-based learning opportunities in our region. I'm excited about the work that I'll get to do partnering with employers in our region and connecting them with high schoolers and college students so they can see opportunities for work and follow their dreams right here at home. So let me end by letting you know and telling you that your career, your future, your adventure starts here, just as mine did. You should seek out opportunities, dream big, and every day take small, meaningful steps in the direction that you want to go in. Along the way, be where your feet are. Be engaged in your community, your church, your studies, and the people that are around you. I also want to encourage you to consider a career in public service. It will provide you with purpose and allows you to make a meaningful impact in the people around you. So thank you for allowing me to be with you here today to share these stories. And I wish you all the best as you embark on this new semester. And know that the future is wide open and that you should go after it with everything you've got. So thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate the warm words, and hopefully the students can get a chance to just sort of learn from your experiences and your success. And it's in us all, right? It doesn't matter where you're graduating from. It doesn't matter where you go to school. What matters is what you put into it and who you walk with. And you have some amazing staff, some amazing faculty. You've got good friends, good coaches. You have the opportunity to be able to make the most of that. So Kevin, thank you for exemplifying that every single day with what you do on behalf of Union and many of other Kentuckians. As president of Union Commonwealth University, I proclaim the spring 2025 academic term officially in session. Now please stand with me and join Union Harmony as we sing our alma mater. The words are printed on the inside of the program. After Union Harmony, Reverend Miller will come and send us forth.
Let us pray. Dear God, we are thankful for faculty and staff at Union who teach us life lessons, and may each one of our students find someone who can teach them their very own Messer maneuver to help them get turned upright when they get turned upside down. We ask that you would help send persons like Cecil Wilson in our community and across our great and vast network to provide opportunities for our students that they might never have had elsewhere. We give you thanks for the unique place that Union has in higher education. We ask that you would bless us and our mission. We give you thanks and commit ourselves to the highest aspirations that Union can be. We lift up this prayer. We ask your blessing. Amen.